Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alice. We talk about books. Sometimes we do lifestyle and vlog content. So if you're looking for someone to stick on in the background whilst you make yourself a meal, clean your room, do that thing you've been putting off for the longest time, or you just want someone to listen to, then I'm your gal. So consider hitting that subscribe button. Come on in, join the family. It is free and you can unsubscribe at any time. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. Let's get on with today's video. Just a disclaimer, I am a bit ill at the moment. I know, not ideal, so I do apologise for the state of me, how I sound, etc. It is what it is, guys. Today we're talking about the Scorch Trials. That's right, guys, we couldn't decide what to read next and we picked the Scorch Trials. We are going on to Iron Flame now, but little spoiler, I'm excited to get to the next book, which I actually have back there, and the prequel as well. So don't worry, we'll get to all of those soon. But for now, today we're going to talk about the Scorch Trials, okay? Bring in the trusty laptop. Okay, it's okay. So I really enjoyed this book. I did enjoy it more than the Maze Runner because, as you know, I always say the world building, you're more invested in the characters, there's so much more going on. So I actually gave this book an 8.5. Again, I'm really not sure if I'm kind of going too nice on these books in terms of, like, they're not the best thing I've ever read, but I'm really loving them, and this nostalgic feeling I have is just amazing. So, you know, I'm giving it what I think it deserves, and in my opinion, this is an 8.5 out of 10. So, you know, another good 4 stars. Got high hopes for the final part. It could go wrong, but you never know, you never know. You just gotta hold out hope. But I really enjoyed this book, and so it deserved higher than the first one because I did enjoy it more. Obviously, it didn't have zero spice. We may or may not had a couple of kisses in there, which actually took me by surprise. I didn't expect there to be any of that. I just thought it was like insinuation, but yeah, it was quite good actually. Good job, James. Secret little romance writer there, eh? If asked, would I recommend this book? I said yes, 100%. I loved it. I really enjoying this series as a whole. I feel like it's one of those series you need to read at some point. Obviously, going forward, I am going to tell you a bit about my review. I'm going to try not to spoil too much, but if you haven't read it yet, now would be your time to stop watching because I don't want to accidentally give anything away, so you can come back when you've finished watching it, okay? So that is what we are gonna do. Without further ado, as I said, I'm not feeling too well today. We're not gonna beat around the bush. We're literally just gonna get straight into this review and to tell you whether we should read it or not. I mean, spoiler, you should. I said, wow, this book had amazing plot development. I really did like it. I made a few more annotations, obviously on my notes section, as you guys know, than I did for the first one, but I really enjoyed it. Like, the development was great. It just seemed to get better and more intense, and because we had that world building, the attachment to the characters, it just felt a little bit more put together. The only minor criticisms I have is that in some places I feel like it can be a little bit too fast paced, but I think that's just a me preference, and the books I'm used to reading are normally dragged out way more. But actually, in the grand scheme of things, it works really well. It keeps the pacing of the entire book quite well, even though those certain bits are a little bit faster. I think sometimes it does mean though that we miss a little bit more development with certain characters than we could have had, but I think for now it's fine. For the kind of series that it is, I think it's fine. But just, I had to mention that because that is one of the reasons I obviously did deduct some points from it. Just my personal preference, really. I think the little fast-paced moments aren't too bad though, because they do occasionally kind of add to the intensity and they do make it feel a little bit more like, woo, no one knows who's going on. You're kind of in that, no one knows what's going on. You're kind of in that boat with them. So I feel like it does work, but for me, sometimes I wish we had a little bit more in certain places. I just can't get over this nostalgic feeling I have. Like, even though I know it's similar to Divergent vibes and Hunger Games, etc. I mean, I have never read these books, and I watched the films this summer and I barely remember them because I'm telling you now for free, I don't remember half of the stuff that happened in this book happening on the films. So either they're really different or I just have a pants memory now. I don't know. I'm normally quite good at remembering, but I just can't get over this feeling. It feels like something that's been well loved, excited to go back and read. It's really crazy. I can't fully explain it, but I really love this feeling. For me, that is what makes these books higher. They just create that I don't know, they just create something within me. you know? And I also love the fact that whilst it is similar in that respect, creating those kind of vibes, Divergent created, etc., it's completely its own series in its own right. There's no copycatting from any of them, and I think, you know, that's just amazing because they're all these worlds that these authors have created, and, you know, good job, James, good job. I love that we got some new characters in this book, and also that we get a lot more development between the characters. We're still not quite as deep as I would like. Again, that was one of the reasons it's a little bit low. I do like to have this intense connections. I don't know, I guess it's the books I'm used to reading. I definitely love that we still got some development within that, so we love that. We love to see where the journey of the book is going. We also explored more themes in here of betrayal and loyalty. We also got a lot more team working going on, and these ideas of the world being slightly bigger than we realized it being, and the affairs of the world being in a slightly worse state than we realized. So I really liked that about this book, because we had a lot going on and a lot of themes being explored, and I feel like it was really clever, or how it was intertwined and the different relationships building and breaking between characters. So I'm excited to see what comes in the next installment for this. I feel like there are still some gaps in my knowledge with these books. There's bits where they say it sometimes and I don't understand, or I'm not sure where it came from, but I also feel like that's partly on purpose, because the characters in these books have gaps in their knowledge and they're not sure about everything yet, and they're still piecing it together. So I feel like it's for now anyway, I feel like it's a tactical thing where you're kind of with them on this journey. So kind of as Thomas pieces things together, you piece them together with him. So I am liking that. I've not put it as a negative nor a positive yet, but that is something I have picked up on. There are certain bits where I read them and I'm like, have I missed something, or have I just not been told it yet? But I definitely think it all come together in the final. But the way these books seem to be written, they're very much progressing towards the next part all the time, so I feel like it should be good. I mean, I have a rough idea of what happens because I have watched the film, but if these books are anything to go by, they're quite different, so who knows. All bets are off. I genuinely can't wait to start the next one, and I'm super glad that I'm finally reading this series. I didn't have too much to say on the whole on the review, because it was just a really good book that I enjoyed, and I would recommend you reading this series. Obviously, please always check the trigger warnings before you read any series, just because, you know, we want happy, safe readers out there. So do that. Obviously, I am recommending this, but make sure you do that first. There are a lot of deep, dark, slightly gory things, scary things going on in here, so it can be a lot. It's not too bad. I would definitely say I've read worse, but I would still recommend checking them before going into reading this. So we have done it. We've done the second part of the Maze Runner. I think I might try and read the third one alongside Iron Flame, because I'm very excited. Might chop and change between the two, but I haven't decided yet. What do you guys think, huh? Have you read the Maze Runner? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, don't talk about the Death Cure yet, or if you have read the prequel or any of the other books in the series, don't talk about them yet, but you can talk about the Maze Runner or the Scorch Trials. So I'm very excited to hear your thoughts on that. Sorry about my pants uploading at the moment. It's just been an illness kind of weekend, not doing too good, needed to get my reading under wraps. So I feel like we're back, hopefully, almost keeping everything up to date. So without further adu, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Have you subscribed? Thank you very much. And as always, until the next one, I'll see you then. Bye.